What's going on, everyone? How are you doing today? I hope you're doing fantastic. And in today's video, we're taking a look at Guerrilla from the Ninja Turtles Ultimates line by Super7. Let's get into it. Oh, right. The mail's here. Yo, he's gone. Let's party.
Yo, Mikey, you want some pizza? Radical dude. Hey, Kakarot.
What's up, Vegeta?
Today's the day I will finally defeat you. Hey! Everyone, back to your places. He's coming.
DudeRetro toy reviews. All right, and here is the packaging for Guerrilla. And this thing's huge. This box is absolutely massive. Like, look at the width of that. And here's the back of the slipcover here. Like, this thing is just huge, dude. Like, when I got this, I really was not expecting it to be this freaking giant. And I guess one way to show how big this box is compared to other Super 7 Ultimates boxes. So right now I'm filming a bunch of reviews kind of at one time. So I have a bunch of boxes kind of around me right now. So here is the Guerrilla. And we're going to move that off to the side. And so there is the box for Wingnut. And as you can see, the Wingnut box is slightly taller, like not even a half an inch taller, but it's slightly taller. But when you look at the side view, look at that difference. Like, this thing is huge. And then let's bring in a smaller one. So let's put this one down. Here is your typical, this is like your regular size Ultimates box. And here's April. Look at that. That comparison right there. And these boxes are kind of on the big side. And yeah, that difference is massive. So yeah, this box is huge. But anyways, you're not here for that. Let's go ahead and take the slip cover off. Come on. There we go. Okay, that works. But yeah, so here is the packaging for Guerrilla. His helmet is laying all the way down here. Oh, it looks like his strap is broken. If you look. Oh, right here. His strap is snapped off because I think he's supposed to have, like, how there's that one strap over there. I think he's supposed to have two on each end, just kind of hanging loose from the helmet. Looks like it's snapped off. I wonder if it's going to be in the packaging somewhere. Definitely going to have to try and find that. But it looks like that is broken. So that sucks. Just right, and you know, just looking through the packaging without even opening it, I can see there is a piece that is broken. So that does suck. But this figure does look cool. He's huge, of course. I mean, just looking through the packaging, he's huge. And yeah, you have this nice big open window right here so you can see him, all the accessories and everything. And let's turn it around. And there's a little bio right there. So if you want to pause the video and read the bio for Guerrilla, you can do so. So yeah, that is the packaging for Guerrilla. Let's go ahead and open them up and let's check them out. And here is Guerrilla out of the packaging. And dude, this thing is massive. This thing is completely just ridiculous how big this figure is. But yeah, this figure is awesome. Just heavy. This is a lot of plastic. It is a lot of plastic, and this thing is just massive, but it is awesome. And while we're talking about the size, let me just go ahead and pull out the measuring tape so you can see how big this guy is. And he is standing around 8 inches tall. Really tall figure. So let's go ahead and get into the articulation. So his head here looks up just a little bit, looks down not much. And then head tilt, you do get a good amount of head tilt there. His head does spin all the way around. Just like that. I mean, the jacket does kind of get in the way a little bit, but his head is able to spin all the way around. It is just on a ball joint. Now the arms right here, these things, they are, I guess because of the weight of the arm here, it feels like it's like ratcheted. It is very tight. It feels almost like you're breaking it as you're trying to articulate it, like lift it up. That's because it feels like it's like ratcheted, and it's just such a stiff joint, which it probably needs to be because this arm is so heavy. So over time, his arm, like the joint won't loosen up and give out due to the weight of this arm. So it's really good that that is a tough joint right there. I really, really do like that. And then even spinning it around, you can see how it's like ratcheting a little bit. It's not like smooth. So his arm is not going to fall over time. I don't believe it will. I think he's just going to have no issues there. Now right here, he actually does have a bicep swivel, which is interesting because he's one of the first Super 7 Ultimates that, as far as I know, that actually has a bicep swivel. I'm looking at all the ones that I have, and I don't see any of them that has a bicep swivel. So he might be the first. There is a swivel right here in the elbow, and there is a single joint at the elbow, so it goes about 90. And then in the hand, there is a swivel in the hand, and bends up and down just like that. And you see there is a cut right here at the ab, so it allows some crunch, not much, but you do move this arm out of the way. You do get some swivel right there. Don't really get a crunch. And then even including the joint down here, that articulation point, you don't get crunch really. There's a little bit, but not much. But there is a swivel down here at the waist as well. So you get multiple points to swivel just in this little ab and waist section. And then this is a softer plastic, so it doesn't really get in the way too much. It does move out of the way a little bit for the leg motion, kicking forward. Same kicking back. Kicking out. What's this side kick motion like? I think that's about as much as you're going to get off to the side. There is a little bit of a swivel. Not too much, just right here. A little bit. There is a swivel in the knee. There is a single joint right there in that knee. There is a ankle pivot. So you got some nice rocking motion right there. Foot goes down a little bit, goes up a little bit. Really nice. Doesn't feel loose or anything down here, so you shouldn't have any issues there. There is no swivel right here. It's just the only swivel you're going to get in that leg is going to be right there mostly. That is all of the articulation with Guerrilla. Really nice articulation. I'm actually impressed with how stiff the joints are, and they have to be with this big and heavy of a figure. They have to be stiff. So it's not easy to articulate them, but you can, and the joints do not feel like they're going to cave in due to the weight of this figure. So really impressive there. Now for accessories, you do get an alternate head. And I love this one, how he's like screaming. Really cool. Do love that. Let's swap this head out so you can see what it looks like. Pull that off. Let's straighten that necklace back. Pop this one on. I'll do this off camera. There we go. It was a little tough to get on, but once you get it on, look at that. That looks sick. Love that. I do have a little bit of a mark right there on mine, on the cheek. I've tried rubbing it and maybe taking my fingernail to it, and it's just not coming off. So that does suck, but really cool looking head sculpt. Now, for alternate hands, you do get 2 sets of fists. And these you just swap like so. You just pull. Okay, let me do this off camera as well. You just pop that one off, and you can pop this one on. It is a little difficult just because it is a tight fit right there. Like I said, just because of the weight of this, all the joints, they all kind of have to be tight just to make sure that nothing really caves in over time. And because he's a big figure, his weapons are bigger. So you do need the joints and everything to be a little bit tighter so he can actually hold on to his weapons and his hands won't cave in due to that weight. And then you get 2 sets of weapon holding hands. These ones, the thumb is stuck out just a little bit. And the reason why I say that is because you get another set of weapon holding hands. And these ones, the thumbs are more like inwards. And the hole for the weapon is larger. And I say that because you get another set of like weapon holding hands. I mean, these ones are kind of like a trigger finger, but the hole for these ones are a little bit smaller. So you get a bunch of different types of weapon holding hands. And this one here does look more like a trigger finger than this one does. So yeah, you get all of those different hands so you can hold on to his accessories. And talking about accessories, you do get this knife right here. And this thing is huge. Like this thing is really, really big, but it's such a cool little knife. And I have tried all of the hands for holding this knife. The weapon holder hand that has like the larger hole, the larger opening, is the one that seems to hold it the best, but it's loose. Because you got this one here where it's a little bit smaller. And I've tried getting it in there. And it is just tight, dude. There we go. And so he can hold on to it. You have to put it in the weapon hold hand where the hole for the hand is smaller. You don't want to use this one right here where it's a larger opening. Use the smaller one and you can hold on to it. It's got a good grip, not falling out or anything. Up next, you have this gun right here. This thing looks sick. It's got all these vines and everything going around it, wrapping it around. Looks awesome. So out of all the hands, this one here, the one that has a larger opening, seems to be the one that holds it best because it kind of like locks in. So he doesn't, so it's not like falling out or anything. You turn, once it's in there, kind of like locks in and it gets a good grip. It doesn't look right, especially since his finger isn't where the trigger is, which is kind of annoying because he does come with a hand that has a trigger finger. This one here, you see how it's got a little gap right there. So he's got one, but it will not go on. I have tried and tried, but it just will not go on. There's just no way you're getting that finger where the trigger is. Right there, these hands, like the plastic for the hands, it's like a harder, it is softer than the figure itself, but it is a hard plastic. And so trying to stretch these, you may be able to heat it up with like a heat gun or a hair dryer or something. You may be able to heat up the plastic a little bit so it can flex so you can get it on. That's the only way that I could think of. If you're not doing that, you're not going to be able to get that on that hand, which really sucks. And as you see, trying to get it on, I have torn up the inside of that hand there. Like, that's just not working. So it's really only like one of the hands I can even get him to even hold on to this gun, which sucks. And then talking about the guns, he does come with this giant freaking bazooka. And it's got this banana coming out of it. Like, look at this. This thing is huge. It is hollow. It is a really hard plastic. But it is cool. And the banana does come out. And it's got that peg right in there. So, really, really cool. I am really hoping that I can get him to hold on to this. Yeah, this sucks, honestly. Like, trying to get him to hold on to any of these large weapons, it's not working. It is not working. It is getting so frustrating. Oh, I was loving this figure so much. Like, look at that. Look at how much I've torn up the hand there, just trying to get the weapon in there. I've torn up the plastic in that, just trying to get him to hold on to it. Like, why? And this is the hand that has the largest opening for holding weapons, and he can't hold on to it. Why would they make the figure like this, where he can't hold on to his freaking weapons? This is so frustrating. Frustrating. Oh, I hate it. And it makes me so mad because this was the weapon that I loved with this figure. This was the one accessory I was looking forward to the most. And now he can't even hold it. Yeah, I'm sure if you heat it up with the heat gun or hair dryer, you can probably heat up the plastic to move it around to get him to hold on to it. I'm sorry. I'm going on a rant right here. Okay, I'm going on a rant. When you're spending this much money on a figure, you should not, as a customer, be required to make any modifications or do anything extra to have the figure actually hold the accessories, to stand up, or to do anything. The figure should be able to do what it's supposed to do, what it's advertised to do in the promotional pictures, whether it's holding weapons, standing up, or doing anything. If you're spending, this is a $80 figure. This is an $80 figure. If you're spending this kind of money, you should not have to do anything. Right out of the box, it should be able to do what it's advertised to do. I'm sorry, that's just me, but it is incredibly frustrating when these companies keep making toys and keep making action figures, and they want us, the customers who paid them money to keep their businesses open and running, we are the ones that have to do the extra effort to get these figures to do what they're advertised. Sorry. Little rant there. Just really annoyed with this. I've had this happen a few times in the past with other figures I reviewed. Especially, like I said, with standing up. I had my Super Saiyan 3 figure that I ordered from Kong Studios. He would not stand up. I got a bunch of stuff in the comments about that one because I was nitpicking about it not being able to stand up. And I've had the issue with other figures where they can't hold certain accessories or certain weapons, even though they're advertised in the promotional images that they can hold them. They can't hold them unless you do any modifications to them. It's just frustrating. It's frustrating. Us as customers, we are the consumer. We pay these companies money. We should not be required to do this kind of work. It is their responsibility as a company to give customers good products that actually do what they are advertised to do. If they aren't doing that, they need to fix it. Otherwise, customers stop buying their products and the company goes out of business. That's usually how things work. Okay, rant over. Let's go ahead and continue with the review. All right, and so for an update on this figure, this is after my initial review. I did use a hairdryer to heat up the hand here so it could allow the fingers to kind of be a little more pliable and move. I was able to get the bazooka on his hand. That is the only way that you can get him to really hold the bazooka, sadly. I really do not think that we should have to heat up these hands and stuff like that in order to get some of these figures to hold their accessories. I am still really against us as customers having to do this, especially for expensive action figures. I mean, this is an $80 figure. I should not have to do that. but I did. So I do want to show that you can heat up the hand to put the bazooka on. That is the only way that he can hold this weapon, is by heating up the hand there. Really sucks. Should not have to do that. But I also do want to point out, after trying to pose it, because I always like try to do my posing and everything, my posing shots where they're on the little round table. I do that after I do my review, and I did notice that these joints are really loose right here in the hip. So if you're like trying to get him to stand up straight, he's not going to. He's going to fall over. Even if, let me lift this arm up, because this arm is sticking forward, so it is providing some weight there. So the arm is now straight up, and he's still falling over. Even this one, both arms straight up. That is the only way you're going to get him to stand up straight, is if you have all the weight in the arms up to be level. So you don't have any weight and forward, and he's still going to fall over a little bit if you like try to touch him. So it has to be still. It has to be still. If you want to have his arm just forward slightly, let's see if just slightly, yep, just enough, and it makes him want to fall over. Okay, it's still. It's still, but let's do that. Ah, okay, so it's going. All right. Now, oh, yeah, it's the hip joint is just way too loose, and especially once you get this one here with the bazooka and you try and have that move forward just a little. Like if both arms are forward, it is just too much weight and he is going to fall over, which sucks. But that is if he is straight up. But if you do bend the knees and you kind of have him hunched down, the leg hits this right here, so it can't actually move forward at all. Like that joint, it cannot move forward any further. So the best, most stable way to get him to stand up and not fall forward is to actually bend the knees and kind of crunch the legs down, so he's more in like a squatted pose. That, see, I am trying and he's not falling forward. So that is the best way to do it, which really sucks because that joint is just so loose. And this has been a problem with a lot, and I mean a lot, of Super 7 figures, like with the Ninja Turtle line specifically. I don't have any other Ultimates. I just only do their Turtles. And this has been plaguing this line ever since the beginning, is these loose joints right here in the hip. It is super annoying. I really, really, really freaking wish that they would fix that, especially for these big, heavy figures. Do a different articulation scheme. It can't be that difficult. Just do a different articulation scheme for these, because you're doing the same articulation scheme you're doing with a lot of the other characters, and these figures are too heavy. They're going to fall over. And even some of the lighter figures, like my Foot Soldier, which was one of the first figures to come out in this line, like wave 1 or 2, he has loose hips. My Casey Jones, he has loose hips, and those are smaller characters. Even the Turtles, they have loose hips. Like I said, it's plagued the line from the very beginning, and it's just sad to see that it is still a issue this far into the line. It's been years, and it's still an issue. I feel like it's something that desperately needs to be addressed. And especially for these big characters, these big, heavy characters, they need more stability right here in the leg, right in the waist right there. They need more stability. But yeah, just kind of want to throw that out there, give y'all a little bit of an update as far as what's going on with this review after the fact, after I've messed around with them and tried to pose. I've came across an issue with the waist right there. All right, let's go ahead and finish off this video. So anyways, back to this. You can take the banana off, And he does come with a little coconut here. You can put that in there just like that. So he can shoot a little coconut out of there. Pretty cool. You don't want to push it in too far because otherwise it does get a little stuck. So it takes a little work to get out, but you can put the coconut in there. So that's kind of cool. He does come with a bunch of bananas, and I mean a bunch of bananas. And these you can put just in there just like that. So you can put in that little belt. And let's see what hand probably works for these. Will that one work? So that one, he can hold on to that banana. Let's see what other hands. One's pretty much the same. This one kind of can. I mean, a little bit. I mean, looks more like a gun. So yeah, he can hold on to the bananas. All different kind of grips, all the different hands. They have different ways of holding the bananas. So that's kind of cool. Does come with 3 grenades. And these are really cool. I do like the look of these. It's got some nice sculpt to those. Now, can they go in here? No, they're too big to fit in there. I mean, you can hang on to it like that. And it looks kind of dumb because that's not how it's supposed to be. But you can do that. There's anything on the back? No. Okay. So it doesn't go in there. It looks like the bananas are just for that. Can any of the hands hold it? That is the question. Try this one right here. I mean, kind of, a little bit. Let's try some of these other ones. Not really. No. Kind of, a little bit. Yeah, he can't really hold onto the grenades, and they don't go in the belt either. So the grenades are kind of a waste, honestly. They don't do anything. They don't plug anywhere. There's no peg hole or anything. There's no pegs on him, so they don't go anywhere. So these are honestly kind of a waste. Just throw those just like that. You can see I'm getting frustrated with this review, and also getting frustrated with this review because when I ordered this, the helmet came broken. The helmet was kind of moving around in the packaging, and the strap for it snapped off. It's supposed to be right there where that strap is. It's supposed to be right there, and it's broken. So it was broken in the packaging before I even opened it. So that is really annoying. Let's see how this goes on. Goes on just like that. And then he also does come with some glasses here. Let's see if these can go on. A little. Not really. Let's try this head sculpt. There we go. So it goes on this one. Will it not go on this one? Let's take this helmet off and let's try the glasses again. No, it's not going. Yeah, it's not going on this one. So it only goes on this one right here. The glasses. They only work for this head sculpt. All right, and here we are at the size comparison. And I already pulled out the measuring tape earlier in the review, so I'm not going to do that now. So let's go ahead and compare them to some of the other figures that are in this line starting off. So here is the Super7 Ultimates Raphael. And look at that size difference. He is a massive figure. He is a whole lot bigger than Raph is. So let's compare him to a human figure. So here is the Super7 Ultimates April O'Neil. Let's move Raph out of the way. Now here's another big figure. This is one of the larger ones that are in this line. Wow. This is my first time seeing them next to each other, and he's actually taller than Bebop is. That is crazy. Let's take April out. Let's see what a NECA movie turtle looks like. So here's the movie one Leo. Take out Bebop. Here is the Secret of the Ooze Shredder from NECA. Let's take out Leo. Now for a little fun, let's see how he looks next to Sergeant Bananas from the original Playmates line. Now these are not the same. He is, I guess, inspired by Sergeant Bananas. With Sergeant Bananas, there's been rumors online that there's like some kind of copyright thing or something going with it. So that's why Super7 did not do Sergeant Bananas. They did Guerrilla, who I believe is in the comic book line. He's in one of the comic books. There is Guerrilla next to Sergeant Bananas there. I wonder if we'll get Sergeant Bananas as well. I mean, they already have the sculpt for this. All they got to do is give them a green and yellow banana jumpsuit, right? And that's going to do it for my review of Guerrilla by Super7. Now, this figure is extremely disappointing. Like, visually, the figure looks good. The sculpt looks good. I like the paint and the detail of it. It just looks like a good figure. It's very heavy. It's big. It's solid plastic. It just overall, it feels like a great figure and it looks like a great figure. And the articulation is okay until you realize that the hip joint is weak. The legs are not strong enough. Once you stand the legs up, they're not strong enough to really hold the weight of the figure. So you're going to have to crouch the figure to make sure he doesn't fall over on your shelf. Because if he falls over and hits the floor, that's going to be a big crash. Because he is, like I said, he is heavy. And then it is extremely disappointing. He cannot even hold a good majority of his accessories. His bazooka, even the gun is a little weird holding it. There's only one of the hands it really fits in without heating it up. And it fits in it kind of loose. It's not the greatest fit. So the fact that he can't hold his gun really all that great. He cannot hold his bazooka at all without heating up the hand. And I can't even really figure out what I'm supposed to do with the grenades. They don't store anywhere on the figure, and none of the hands really hold them that well. So I'm not sure what you're supposed to do with the grenades, but he comes with them. And I can't fault this on Super7, but the strap on my helmet was broken in the packaging. It was probably just broken in shipping. So I'm not going to fault them on that. But that is something that does suck, is that mine did come broken. This figure at this price point of $80, in my opinion, is not worth it. I really do not think that this figure is worth $80 with the issues that it has. I honestly kind of regret spending the money on it. It is on my shelf. It looks good on my shelf, but I just really want to put that out there. I want you guys to just be aware of what you're getting into if you do decide to buy this figure. So that's it for my review. I really hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I'm DudeRetro, and I'll see you next time.